Hollywood Exes, Season 3, Episode 1. Alright, let's get into it. So they start off, Monte and Jessica. They're going to some little, little play gym or whatever for Monte's new adopted daughter. And over the break or whatever, Monte and Jessica has come very, very closer. So, Monte now has a new man. His name is Roberto. That has been her friend for over 20 years, and she's all in love now. She's all giggly. It's all about Roberto. Her daughter calls him Papa, but he lives over in Tampa, and that's the only thing. Now she wants him to move from Tampa to LA, and they're going to move out of their house, and they're going to move in together as a family. So I'm just wondering, where is her mama's going to go? Thought her mother's living with her, so, it's going to be the mother and all four of them together, or it's going to be the mother stay in that house and Monte and her daughter. I can't even remember her daughter's name. I think it's Gia something. I can't remember. Sorry. But they're all going to move together in a house. Excuse me, y'all. Jessica asks her, has Monte talked to Dre in a while? And Monte's like, no, I have not talked to Dre in like 6 months. And, so then they go over and, Sorry, I'm reading my notes. I'm going to get better with this. I'm still a little rusty. But Nicole says she sold her house, and, now she's living in the same neighborhood as her ex, which is Eddie Murphy, of course. And, she's very happy about that. I ain't gonna lie, this episode of Hollywood Exes was boring up until the good part. I'm just gonna try to give you a rundown of what happened. So, they go on to Cherie, and Cherie is mad at Monte for backing out of, she was supposed to bartend for, Terrell, which is Cherie's husband, 40th birthday. And she told her all she needed, and Cherie got everything she needed. And when she was hitting her up, it was like, oh, I can only find 1 bag of this. Like, how much do you need? And then she was like, Monte was like, oh, well, Roberto's in town, and, I can, this is the only time I really get to spend time with him. So she ended up backing out of it. So she was pissed off. So Cherie's holding something against that, and she wants to, talk to Monte, because in her book, that's not a real friend. If you have a commitment, you need to stick with it. Which I kind of understand. He could have just came to the party. I don't think it would have lasted all day long. But anyways, we're going to move on. And they go in to talk about Dre, and nobody has heard from Dre in like 6 months. No one. Nobody can reach her or anything. So then they have a new cast member. Her name is Shayna. She was married and engaged to Travis Barker, and what's the I can't think of these rock star names, but she seems like a very cool person. And then, finally, Nicole gets a call from Dre, so she decides that she's going to have a brunch for everyone, and for Dre, and everyone is invited. So then they have a brunch or whatever at Nicole's house, and in the backyard or whatever. And one of Nicole's friends has fur on, and if you ever watch this show, you know that Jessica and Monte is not about killing animals or anything like that. So last season they set Nicole's fur hat on fire while she wasn't there. And they end up apologizing, but, I guess Jessica learned from the situation, but Mate has not learned from the situation. And Mate, gets pissed off that somebody has fur on, and she feels as though it's Nicole, even though the person does not even know Mate. She feels as if Nicole shouldn't even let them in her house or invite them anywhere because they have fur on. It's like, Mate, grow up. I like you, though. I really do. I like you. I think you're a sweet person, but you have your childish moments like this. Of course, you don't like fur, but you cannot attack everyone that has fur on because you're going to come across a lot of people that has fur on. And if you want to do this in a mature way, I think it would be better for you to tell them about what happens to the animals, or be passionate about it, but don't be, childish. Be mature about it. And just tell them about how you feel about it and all that. And you don't have to act out in a way where it seems as if you're having a temper tantrum. So then, Mate, she storms off. Jessica stays there. She storms off. And, they start chanting outside. They toasting, and they're like, to the fur. All of them to the fur. And next thing you know, you just hear some glass break. And you go in there, and there's glass all over the floor. And then Mate is nowhere in the house anymore. And Jessica meets up with her outside in the front. And then Jessica's like, Mate, why did you break that glass? She was like, I didn't break it. It was an accident. I swung my purse, and it just fell. And she was like, really, Mate? And Jessica was not believing her. And then she heard Nicole's voice, and Nicole's daughter, Bria. Bria was not playing that either. And she was like, oh, I gotta go. And she took off walking. And Nicole comes outside, oh, Mate, you need to come clean this shit up. I can't believe you did this. You blew my mind or whatever. And, she's going off, and Jessica ended up going, they went back in the back, and Jessica tells her, well, in her defense, and then Cherie's like, no, you can't even defend that. She was like, no, in her defense, she said it was an accident. She said that her purse hit it. And Nicole's like, Jessica, it was a big old sugar thing. You have to pick it up and drop it like this. Okay? That wasn't no accident. She did that on purpose. And my thing is, Mate was so lucky that she ended up breaking something that was not of value to Nicole. If there had been something that was irreplaceable, like it was, if it was irreplaceable, she probably would have got her ass whooped for that shit. And she lucky that Nicole liked her, because if that wasn't, that was somebody else, and no matter if it was irreplaceable or not, you probably would have got your ass for breaking some shit in people's house that ain't yours, that you don't know nothing about. You didn't have no right to do that. So then, Drea shows up, and she shows up with her new man, and Drea is engaged to this young thing or whatever, and she's all happy, and everybody's like, what? You show up with a man and y'all engaged? And she's like, yeah, I couldn't talk to y'all. That's why I couldn't talk to y'all or whatever. I just been ignoring y'all calls, and, I couldn't talk to y'all. I wanted to tell y'all so bad, but if I told y'all, I was going to get out, and, So then, Dre asked, well, where's Mate at? They was like, well, she started throwing things that Dre already knew what happened. And then Dre was like, it was the fur, wasn't it? And they like, yeah. So, Mate, well, somebody can already predict why you did something, because you gotta grow up. Basically. You just gotta grow up. Not like you, but come on now. So then, let me get on, hold on. You know, they asking them all kind of questions, and you know, how long you've been together, and you know, what made you do this, and we just gonna skip past that part. Dre and Mate is taking a walk. I'm sorry, I gotta hurry up. Mary and the Gang comes on. I gotta watch that. But Drea and Mate is walking, and Drea asked Mate about it, and she was like, "Oh, it was an accident. You know, I accidentally did it on purpose." Or I purposely did it on accident. You know, my purse hit it or whatever. And then Dre told, she was like, as a friend, the way they told me you did it or whatever, you just got mad and you stormed off and you went in the house and you broke something. And she's like, as your friend, I'm gonna tell you, Mate, that was some straight bullshit. And I agree with Dre. It's like, come on, you cannot get mad every time you see somebody with some fur and throw. She just like throwing shit. And then she's like, well, hey, I'm Latin. And, you know, I throw shit, you know. Oh, well. Well, oh, well, my ass ain't no good ass excuse. Somebody beat your ass over there or they press charges on you. You know, what you gonna tell them? I'm Latin. That's what I do. Girl, bye. And, you know, Mate need a reality check, seriously. But this episode of Hollywood Exes was kind of boring except for the Mate part. You know, it was entertainment, even though she's been very childish. The guy that is engaged to Drea, I ain't too sure about him. He's starting to look like an opportunity to me, and I'm not one of the person that thinks that every woman that has a guy come along that, you know, isn't as popular as him or whatever is the opportunist. But when he started talking about, oh, we're gonna have a wedding here and you get married and you're getting engaged in less than 6 months and there's no prenup and you're in the music industry, it's like you want this exposure. You're using them for exposure, for, you know, basically just so people be like, oh, she's married, he married to R. Kelly ex-wife. Let me listen to his song. He ain't slick. I'm gonna try to give him more chances or whatever. But he's looking like another opportunity to me, and I'm gonna keep tuned for this. Yeah, so that was Hollywood Exes, the first episode of season 3. You know, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at Jazz Chapman. See ya.